Yeah, we've seen Zoomers really prioritize Husky CM. I think he really likes that hero. Could play nicely with the Tusk. Of course, you don't like picking it into Nyx. Even the DP silence is pretty potent. But if your softest target to go for is the CM, I don't think you really mind on the end of Zoomers as well. So it could be a nice, solid sacrificial 5 to just buy out those sentries, have a lot of laning presence as well, and just kind of buy space out for your team if they want to dip into that for Husky. Could be a potent option if they want to go into that CM.
You could also go back for the Witch Doctor, but no, they're going to go for the Ogre Magi. Always surprises me when I see this hero popping up in the Pro Series. I mean, it's one of those supports where it kind of just does its job anyway. It's never really been bad per se. It just hasn't been that popular as of late. I still think Bloodlust is really nice to have on your team though, and I think with Ogre, he can be pretty broken in the right hands. Even as a position 5, just having max Fire Blast and just kiting around a team fight, spamming it over and over again and getting multicasts off can be pretty darn potent. Obviously with the Bloodlust as well, it's going to mean Sammy should have a much faster time farming, just with that escalation tool in that Bloodlust. See how NoPing want to deal with it. I'm sure they won't be too concerned about seeing an Ogre Magi.
No, I think the big issue is what hero will Zoomers want to enable with Ogre Magi. As you mentioned, Sammy's going to have an easier time farming up here. There's a lot of options left on the table. Again, Ursa Troll are in the pool there if Zoomers want to go into it. In fact, Troll is pretty darn good with Ogre Magi, just giving him that initial burst of attack speed to build up the fervor stacks is always great. So you can just opt for that now for Zoomers in that next pick. They could also opt for an Alchemist. That's one way. Once you get your Chemical Rage off, you're just going to be machine gunning through enemy heroes. NoPing do go back into the Mars, so it's starting to look like, at the very least, an off-lane Mars here coming out once more. And, you know, it was a bit harder last time for Oscar, but I think in this case, you don't have the Jug to worry about spinning out of your arena. You do have the Void Spirit who can kind of dip out, though. So it's the same issue with mid and trying to catch him out. And we'll see if that will play a factor. Zoomers do go into the Venomancer themselves. This gives them some push presence now. That's something their lineup does kind of lack. Venomancer can naturally shove in a wave, drop the Plague Wards, pressure a tower really fast. It does sort of taper off in terms of teamfight presence, especially down the line. You don't really get too much damage off once a pipe is up and running on NoPing, and once you get a couple of casual cloaks up. So there's a lot of ways of mitigating that, and NoPing do go into that Naga Siren once more for HFN. So it does come out. You do not have the best wave clear from Zoomers. I suppose Void Spirit with his Resonant Pulse can kind of melt those illusions early on, but as the game goes on, once you get the heart up, once you get all these tanky items up on Naga, it is going to be harder to manage those illusions. So there's a lot HFN can get done here. You don't have the most natural Naga combos, but again, we don't tend to see NoPing prioritize that. So no Disruptor combo. You do have, I guess, Song to set up for a good arena. That's one way to play it, but not necessary. So you do have a very strong comfort pick for HFN. There is room for Zoomers to kind of counteract that with their safe lane matchup now. And interesting banouts from Zoomers. They take out the Oracle. So they are expecting a last pick support. Again, expecting Dark Mago to be on the DP. But I think that the flex still exists there for NoPing. They could still just run it as pause 5 if they wanted to, and opt for a more aggressive mid for Dark Mago.
Okay. Well, final banouts are now coming out. We see the Alk Troll being removed by NoPing. 4 Zoomers for now, getting rid of the Oracle and the CM for that matter. Last pick up now, NoPing. How do you want to finish this draft off? They've still got heroes like the Kunkka there. We've seen Dark Mago playing a bit of that as of late. You do have the option for the Batrider if you want to go back to it, but they're going to... Oh, okay, so maybe a mid-Mars we're looking at then. Or a mid-DP for that matter, either one. So they just go for the last pick support Grimstroke, just throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. 4 Zoomers though. Are they concerned by this?
Mm, probably not. You don't have any strong Grimstroke combos here with the Inkswell. You could maybe play with Mars Grimstroke here. Inkswell up and run in, arena combo, spear combo out. You've got some good follow-up stunts in the arena.
Ooh.
And Zoomers do go into Gyrocopter, so it's a great way to deal with Naga Siren. You've got the flat cannon to play with. You've got some really good farm timings for Sammy to meet. You have the Ogre Magi to speed up your right clicks as well, so that is fairly potent for the side of Zoomers. I think they've got a lineup that can really apply a lot of good pressure earlier on, play the farm game if they want to, as Gyrocopter can scale. Although you don't necessarily want to drag it that long against a Naga. It's a very awkward back and forth for Gyrocopter. NoPing for their part, Dark Mago on the Mars. That does give him more aggressive options. Oscar taking the backseat in the DP this time. So they have that. They have the Exorcism to play with for push. Dark Mago can now look for his Blink and Yule's timing to set up for his team. The mid matchup, Void Spirit versus Mars, is not too bad for either side. I think both sides have some decent enough wave clear. There is some kill potential there for the Mars. I think if you get a good spear off on a cliff, you can maybe look to make a play happen. But it's not like the Void Spirit's the kind of hero to misstep, so Gunner should still be able to manage that lane just fine. Should be an interesting game number 2. Last pick, Grimstroke for NoPing. Just kind of confusing the side of for Zoomers a bit, but they've got this Gyrocopter to work out well with their timings. They've got good magic damage early on, and that's something Zoomers can really abuse. Like, they hit level 6 on pretty much everyone. They can run down lanes, force team fights constantly without too many cooldowns to worry about, except, I guess, Poison Nova's the longest one. But beyond that, they can just constantly throw their bodies forward. NoPing can kind of do the same, except you have a longer cooldown in that Exorcism. So you're not going to have the full toolkit up every single time Zoomers will want to force a fight out. That could cause an issue or two for the side of NoPing, but they will want to play around the Exo to take some of these early towers out and buy that space out for HFN on the Naga.
Feels so weird seeing Gyrocopter versus Naga Siren again. It's like, it feels like we're back in like 2018, 2019 now. These drafts coming out. In some weird way, I kind of miss it. You know, unless it becomes a normal thing, in which case I'm going to be very sad.
Mike, don't bring me back. Do you remember all the Naga combos we'd see? Naga Disruptor Centaur was the mainstay, especially in China. Like, that was just constantly picked every single time. That is all you'd see.
They choose Gyro against it every single time as well. It was it was some boring games. Let me tell you, John. They were just farming all day.
Not even just Gyro. It was Gyro IO every single time.
That's correct. I forgot. I hope I never remember again. 4 Zoomers smoked up. It's going to be a great start for 4 Zoomers. Ocean leading the charge. Smoke broken. HFN going to run right into him. He's not paying attention. HFN. He'll get to the tier 2 tower. Thought he might go the other way to the tier 1. I guess either way works.
30 seconds to battle.
Matthew. The 4 Zoomers are just kind of running them down right now. Impale's out. Tag team does finally come out as well, and Matthew is going to be the first blood. The patience does end up paying off, and that's a first blood to Gunner. That's going to be probably the best start 4 Zoomers could have asked for, giving their Void Spirit that first blood gold bonus. And they're going for a bit more now. They're going to force Dark Mago away from those bounty runes. It's still looking to be a 2 for 2, maybe even a 1 for 3. Because it does seem like Sammy is going to get top 2 bounties going his way. So Ocean is not out of the clear yet. They are still in the die triangle. In fact, they're going to turn right back around. Everyone's still in this mid lane here. From NoPing. They're going to Ocean. Both supports just going at it. The support duos just not happy with sitting in lane and buying regen and wards and stuff like that. They want to fight. Matthew going to be forced to TP away. Even Brack's going to show up. Woo. Almost, but not quite. Matthew does pop a Fairy Fire. It's going to be just fine.
Yeah, this is really awkward for the side of NoPing, though. Like, they're throwing their supports forward, but what can you really do against these tanky supports that you have on Zoomers? They can isolate Brax, but they don't have enough damage in the pool to really melt him down. And the uptime of the aggression for Zoomers, they're just constantly willing to run forward and get that aggression off.
Yeah, I mean, as long as tag team's up, you could just go. HFN is going to try and join his supports to make sure nobody else goes down. It looks like NoPing are going to be set to just run an aggressive tri-lane. They're up against Sprax on the Veno. The thing is, if you want an aggressive tri-lane, you definitely wanted to go up against Sammy. They won't really have that option right now, as Ocean's going to get chased down, but he's going to turn right back around. With the tag team up, he'd love to get in range of Matthew. Gonna pan out, though. And it seems though, even though NoPing aren't up against Sammy in this off lane, with this aggressive tri-lane, as long as HFN's hitting creeps, it seems as though they're going to be satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, as long as HFN finds farm, he tends to be the win condition. You're still going to hit that timing with Naga Siren. So you're getting space out for HFN. You are sacking your support's EXP gain. Matthew and D-Flash, these two supports, Grimstroke and Nyx, do want levels up. We'll see if that is going to be an issue down the line. Down mid, though, you've got Dark Mago up against Gunnar. Gunnar does have that first blood bonus, but when you get speared back to tier 1, you cop a lot of damage.
That's a great spear. He might be dead. Dark Mago, he's going to get him. Gunnar, he thought he had 2 hits left before he died. Unfortunately, the roll of the dice for Dark Mago meant he got a very high attack for that last hit. Well, that's going to be a pretty big mistake from Gunnar John. He was ahead thanks to that first blood, but well, now Dark Mago, he's a full level ahead. In terms of gold, you look at his CS, he's doing a great old job.
Oh yeah, he's controlling the lane really well. The uptime on the spells for Mars is a lot better. God's Rebuke and Spear just really good in clearing out those waves, whereas for Gunnar, he only has Resonant Pulse. It's a constant 16 on a CD. You can try to trade with Mars, but it never really feels good for the Void Spirit because you're facing off against him really here with more damage.
They're trying to dive the DP. They might just get him as well. The Fire Blast is out. Sammy doesn't have mana for Rocket Barrage. And Oscar is going to pop a Fairy Fire, but Husky is not giving up. The Ignite does fly out, and it looks like Oscar is guaranteed to die. He will at least avoid giving the gold away to Sammy, though. And Sammy will lose his courier to the Tier 1 tower. So not all is really lost here. Husky was the one to get the gold out of that. And you know, considering you lost the Wraith Band and some regen there for Sammy, you could sort of call that a little bit of a win. For either side, really.
I don't think Oscar minds too much. He's keeping the supports tied up here. He's sort of pressuring Sammy. He is finding some decent farm the Jar of Copper, though, as the DP doesn't apply that much pressure in this lane matchup. So you're not going to be able to stop this flash farm coming through early on from the Jar. That could be an issue down the line. They do drag Matthew back up top now, though, so you at least have a Nyx Assassin to help you break up that movement. They aren't able to
trying
control
so
the
hard.
though.
They can't get him. He does get the rune anyway. Dark Mago is going to try and run now as Matthew makes the rotation in. Impel only landing on 1. They got the Ignite onto Dark Mago, which should mean that Ocean gets enraged for the tag team, but he forces him away again. With the spear, Snowball to follow Dark Mago up the high ground, but they don't have tag team anymore. They might be in trouble. Ocean, he's going to keep going, but Matthew's right behind him. Now Sammy, Dark Mago gets a kill with the spear. He's going to try and run. The homing missile follows him down. I don't think it's going to be enough damage, or maybe it will be the Fire Blast. The creeps. No, the body blocks Matthew. Is going to make sure the Dark Mago does not die. And he took everything, John. He got the rune. He got a kill. And he's going to come back into the mid lane with a reset now. In fact, it looks like Husky's accepted the fact that he's dead. Sammy? He only has mana for 1 Rocket Barrage. He's going to try and use it, but it's not doing that much damage because they're splitting it up between the two. Oh, 4 Zoomers off to a pretty rough start for game 2.
Yeah, that is just big for NoPing. They managed to get that kill. Dark Mago, as you mentioned, getting everything. Has his level 6 up now, so he can easily try to play with the arena. And Gunnar does not have steps to play with, as he's not level 6 yet. He's a bit off for that timing. Still looking at around the 200 gold left, 200 EXP left to hit that point. So you have an opening here for the Morris to play aggressive. And NoPing off to a really good start, 2-3, 1k lead on their end. You're getting this pretty much free farm down bot for HFN. Brax is also finding some free farm here, but that's a Veno. His farming spikes, his item spikes hit differently compared to Naga, so you will have to watch how much you allow HFN to find. And Dark Mago is just kind of playing poke. Doesn't commit the arena yet, but he's got that option again while Gunner doesn't hit the level 6 mark. So you can just look to make that really aggressive play. And this kind of pace is suiting NoPing quite nicely. You can see Brax, he is slightly ahead by a level, but again, he's just not stopping the Nagasaran's farm. And as long as HFN finds farm, well, you don't really care about anything else here for the side of NoPing.
No, you definitely don't. I mean, they've definitely won 2 out of 3 lanes. At least. Even the safe lane hasn't turned out too badly, but it does feel like 4 Zoomers came out slightly on top for that one. So the saving grace right now for the Zoomers is the fact that Sammy is having an okay time. It's not amazing. But of course he can go back into the jungle later on with that flak cannon and start to escalate a bit further. Problem is Dark Mago's here now with the smoke and he gets the arena off into the spear. They found the main target. Sammy, however, he's out of there. He's going to run, but Oscar is going to finish him off. While that's happening, down a bot lane, Ocean, Stroke of Fate, not going to be enough. The Fairy Fire does save the day for the Tusk. But Brax and Ocean are sitting down bot very low. HFN looks like he wants to try and sneak up from behind. Can't quite find anybody though. Stroke of Fate, gonna connect on Brax. There's absolutely no regen up until that courier came out with a salve. Like Brax will be able to return back into the lane and just farm up a bit more. Nice Stroke of Fate again from D-Flash.
Yeah, just good snipe. So keeping Brax at around half HP is a good point. If he overextends, you can easily punish. With your Naga, it's at this point where HFN hits a little bit harder with a Riptide, so Brax will have to watch himself, especially going up like that.
Poison Nova going to be committed. It looks like he's assumed he's dead, but they're going to turn right back around now. Snowball and Tag Team out. Still a lot of heroes coming down. They get HFN out of there. They'll kill off D-Flash, but they will lose Brax. And Ocean, I don't think that TP is going to work out for you, sir. Dark Mago, he gets a double kill. And Matthew will tip his own core for once.
It's just so good here for NoPing early on. You can see the difference with Dark Mago's Batrider versus the Mars. There's more presence out from the Mars early on. He's allowed to go around, find kills. He has the burst damage to take control. And he's got the level advantage to play with. So the momentum is coming out from NoPing in the mid lane. This is the big difference maker for the side of NoPing, and they smoke up. They can just keep this aggression up every single time with the low cooldowns you have on the Mars.
Yeah, I mean, this is what teams love about this Mars hero, is the fact that they can fight so often. And it just never gets old. Arena's just so darn good no matter what stage of the game you get to. As now they're going to go into Sammy. Arena's going to be perfect again. Into the spear, and he's gone. Gunner is going to try and step in to do some damage, and that's a lot of damage. He's going on to Dark Mago. They'll get the Mars first. Into Matthew. They'll get another. A double kill out for Gunner. They won't be able to catch Oscar. But all in all, it's really not too bad for 4 Zoomers.
Yeah, you're getting some recovery kills there for Gunner, so that helps him catch up on his Void Spirit. He's trying to save up for his Yulet's next. He has level 8 now, so he's actually not too far behind the Mars in terms of EXP. He's hitting his own spike. However, that rotation does mean the bot lane's opened up here for the side of NoPing. They get the Exorcism off from Oscar. They're going to take that bot tier 1 relatively quick, and HFN doesn't have to worry about the Veno, doesn't have to worry about the movement out from Gunner, so it's more space for your Nagasiren to keep that farm game up. Even with the tier 1 for tier 1 trades, you're still going to be fairly happy if you're NoPing.
Well, they found Ocean mid lane. No spear up for Dark Mago, so he can't finish off the kill. They're just trading tier 1 towers on opposing side lanes right now, these two teams. It's a little bit slower though for 4 Zoomers. It's not like the Veno pushes really that fast with Veno wards. It's quite a slow process. Just chipping away at this tier 1. But they are going to be able to get it in the end. They may have to back off soon, however. Matthew is on the way with a Vendetta. He'll spot out Brax. He should know that Sammy is still around, and now he will, because Sammy is farming a creep wave. So he's going to avoid Brax. No sentries around. Sammy, this is a very dangerous spot to be farming. There's the Impale out. He needs some help, however. Dark Mago in with a great arena through the tree line. That'll be another gyrocopter death. Meanwhile, towards the south, HFN going to try and go onto Gunner. Gunner's going to try and fight back. Gale doesn't really connect. Now the Soulbind down from Flash, holding them down. They get the poison over, but Oscar is just fighting back. He does not care whatsoever. At least HFN, though, does die to Gunner, and he's going to go right back after the DP. Oscar, no more Spirit Siphons left. He is set to eventually die. And Gunner will be able to take it. A double kill on the Void Spirit. But he's out of mana now. And they really keep going. Double Impale into a double Spear. But Gunner will get a full bottle off of Ocean now. I'll tell you what though, John. Brax with this Spirit Vessel Venomancer is being a real nuisance toward the side of NoPing. It's a lot of damage. It's very hard to deal with early on. You've got no way to purge it off either. As they go onto Dark Mago, and you just see him get blown up by Gunner. They'll chase him down. Inkswell will connect. Oscar will eventually get the trade. But it's still well and truly worth it for 4 Zoomers.
They're just getting that pressure off now. They found that kill in HFN earlier on, so you can see just how much damage output Zoomers has. They hit their spike with Gunner. He's got the Yults up. He's going for the Travels next to have that presence across the map to find those opportunities. And NoPing were forced to exorcism there. They're not going to be able to get a tower trade from that spell use, so you aren't too happy if you're on the side of NoPing. They are still trying to buy space out for HFN, and considering his one that he's still ahead of Sammy. Not the spot where you'd necessarily want your gyrocopter. You can flash farm. You want to build an item advantage of sorts early on in the gyrocopter to have that presence, but
they found Ocean. Another arena being committed. Ocean, he's going to try and buy himself some time. Dark Mago has the spear up. Just going to commit it and not waste any more time for himself. Nice. But going back to Sammy, you are correct, John. The farm is not looking great for him. And while he can flash farm, the problem is that HFN can also flash farm. In fact, you could argue he flash farms even faster on the Naga. Never mind that though, because D-Flash is going to die to Gunner, and Husky for that matter. I guess for Sammy, he's still going to have a decent amount of time to get that farm up, considering Gunner is having a very good game.
yeah, Gunner's just down to buy that space out now for the side of Zoomers. So both sides are kind of playing that similar playstyle. 4 heroes running around, trying to buy space out for the force, putting a lot of faith on those pots once to deal with each other down the line. Zoomers are set for a bit of a shove down mid, and they can get that done fairly quick. Plague Wards are up at level 3 now, so they've got more presence in trying to chip away at that tower. They do just force NoPing to stick around that general area, so they're not farming efficiently. Look at the control Zoomers has. They're playing up in that top jungle, they're clearing out camps, whereas for the side of NoPing, they're just kind of stuck running around, only really having HFN to farm lanes out. And it's just not a very efficient use of your time right now for NoPing.
Well, they need to protect that mid-tier 1, that's for sure. They're going to stick around and make sure that 4 Zoomers aren't committing for it.
I say no.
4 Zoomers, of course, are just more than happy to go farm up and get a little bit further ahead before they do commit to that tier 1 mid. Dark Mago, though, sneaking up from behind, gonna go straight onto Brax. He wants the Veno dead, but there was an Ogre behind him. Fire Blast was there, but there's the Impel from Matthew. Brax is still alive, but he's been silenced up. He gets the Poison Nova off before he dies. So now 4 Zoomers, they can take the team fight. They'll go in onto Flash, onto Oscar. They are really melting the side of NoPing, as Sammy does actually end up dying to Dark Mago. But it's just about gonna be a full team wipe. The only person left alive is going to be HFN on NoPing's end. But on the brighter side for NoPing, they did at least kill off Sammy Boy in the middle of that fight.
Yeah, they slow down the gyro. You can see the difference for Zoomers. They want to throw the gyro in front. They need some of that damage coming through, so they have to have that presence out. And HFN, though, shows up mid.
He does. He sees an easy kill onto Husky, and he does take it. That's what I really like about HFN's position 1 playstyle. He always comes in when he knows there's a free kill. He's not the kind to just kind of AFK farm the whole game. He will come in whenever he does see an opportunity. Gunner, meanwhile, also sees an opportunity at the moment. Into Matthew they go. Ocean gonna pop the tag team. Gunner now gonna show himself. Spy Carapace out. Dark Mago also around. Snowball in. Dark Mago doesn't have Arena yet. He'll go for the spear into the tree line. Matthew meanwhile trying to run away, but he's gonna get trapped in his own tree line. Dark Mago is just going to be forced to run, but Gunner is on the chase with the Yule Scepter out. But he has no more mana left. This could be dangerous. Dark Mago, he realizes it as well. He figured it out. And Gunner, getting a little bit too excited there, does end up paying for it with his life.
Yeah, and that opened up space to get that shove in mid. They take the tier 1 here on NoPing's end. They've got a 3k lead on hand. We're starting to see the gap with HFN start to build up. 8.5k net worth on our Naga compared to Sammy's 6.3. So Sammy joining these early fights, I mean, they need the damage with Flak, with the call down, with Rocket Barrage, with a Maelstrom up. But he's sacking a lot of his farm every single time he has to show up for these fights, whereas HFN, he's got all the space now. He's got his Manta up. We're going to have to see what he opts for next. We've seen HFN sometimes opt for a Heart Rush, sometimes a Butterfly. And he's got a lot of options to consider now here. The side of NoPing as well are starting to inch into the point where they get BKBs. Once you have that BKB up, you can really start to take these fights a lot better, and they catch one out.
Ocean, it looks like he's going to be alright. Never mind, the Yules is out. But Brax, he's a bit too much of a threat right now on the Veno. It literally is just the Spirit Vessel and the kit of the Veno that does so much damage over time. Gunner, he's been caught again. HFN joining in on Dark Mago, and they get the kill now onto the Ogre. Nice easy pick off to take, and well, they'll get Husky, and they are into the Roshan pit. Why the hell not?
Yeah, he can clear this one really fast. They've got the Exorcism running. HFN can just spam his illusions, get the damage off with a Riptide. And Zoomers do have some way of fighting him. They could maybe go for a snowball play with Ocean, but he's a bit too far out and it's a bit too quick, although they have enough time to at least get the Poison Nova off.
All in. Ocean, the Aegis on the deck. HFN is going to take it. He's going to try and TP before the Aegis does die, and he's going to make it. Ooh, I thought Ocean was about to take that Aegis away. Very good attempt. I believe Ocean was actually body blocked by the Naga Siren at that moment, so he couldn't actually make it through.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's illusion spam. You know, there's a lot going on in that pit. Sometimes you just don't get the access point. Really good combination coming through from Zoomers, though. Getting the Nova off, trying to slow down the Roche, but it's time to be aggressive here inside of NoPing.
They're going to Husky. Arena not going to be dropped in time. Gunner, however, Spy Carapace going to hit him, and they get the silence off into the Impale. But the Snowball Ocean, he'll save the day and give a chance for him to get out of there. Back in the Dark Mago, they'll get the Mars. Now Matthew's dead, and Sammy, he's cleaning up. They try to get out with the song HFN. It might be too late. The Fire Blast does connect onto Oscar. And they'll get another. Sammy on a triple kill, but Ocean with the task. What a snowball save it was.
Yeah, and the control coming out from Zoomers, the damage coming through when they do have their spells up is a lot. Without the BKB, you're just sort of vulnerable on the Morris when you don't find a pick-off, and even HFN, he's sticking around to farm. They're circling around onto him, though.
Uh-oh. Husky gets the Fire Blast. HFN, he has the Aegis. He has no song. His team's going to come in. They found Gunner. He's low on mana, but they're still going to be able to get this Aegis, it looks like. Maybe. Not quite, but the Simulate is going to be enough. They surely can't turn back around and try to go for the second life. They are going to force the rest of NoPing to TP down towards this bot side to make sure HFN survives. And it does mean that Sammy Boy will have some guaranteed space up at the top side of the map. And on top of that, just taking away the Aegis is going to feel really nice for Zoomers, I'd say.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that second life in HFN the next time you catch him off guard. The aggression from Zoomers starting to line up. They take the net worth lead down to less than 1k. NoPing, they're still leading here with HFN, but the rest of their cores are kind of tied up. Progression has been slow for Dark Mago. Really needs the BKB up front to just stand and fight, take away the damage potency of that Venomancer, take away the control you have to worry about. Sammy has managed to farm into his Ags though. So you've got that major spike with the Ags Maelstrom up and running. Sammy can just clear out waves, even clear out illusions if you're not careful. There's a lot of options now for Zoomers in taking these fights. They're going to go for the top tier 2 push. The bot tier 2 has melted to NoPing, so this is a direct 1-for-1 trade. But you wouldn't mind too much as Zoomers. They do have the numbers up if they want to force the issue up top.
The tier 2 bottom tower was already taken. And a smoke is there. Fire blast onto Dark Mago. They break the smoke. They'll be happy if it's only Husky that dies. And that will be the case. Husky, great positioning to break that smoke, and he will tank the gank for the team. Meanwhile, NoPing, they're trying to bait the side of 4 Zoomers in with that haste rune. Matthew would love to find Sammy. Sammy's going to go onto the low ground now. This could be dangerous. Luckily, there are no wards watching. That'll be it. Slight net worth lead for 4 Zoomers. Oscar? They do find Sammy in the end. X is going to be pumped as well. Sammy! Oh, that's going to be a big loss for 4 Zoomers. Into the tier 2 mid tower. He felt safe by that tier 2 mid. But NoPing, they go for the dive and it pays off. There were no TP rotations coming in.
This is a risky spot now for Zoomers. You've got some key items coming out for NoPing. They've got the pipe up on Oscar, so he can just protect his team from that initial magic burst, protect them from the constant barrage of magic damage as well with a Venomancer. You've got the heart up in HFN. He's sitting at 3k HP at level 16. Seems really balanced to have a Nagasiren up at this point. There's just not going to be enough physical damage to deal with HFN. Like, the pipe is going to mitigate a lot of the Veno damage, a lot of Gunner's damage as well on the Void Spirit. Even the Gyrocopter relies on magic damage right now, as you are basically playing around with Maelstrom procs. The right click isn't really enough by itself, and they catch one more.
That they do. Ocean, he was split pushing the top lane, but he is going to get punished for it. And we've seen this story before. The later the game goes on, it's like, do you favor the Chara or do you favor the Naga Siren? HFN kind of proved yesterday you might want to favor the Naga, as he was unkillable yesterday in a game we saw him playing this hero on. Mind you, Gyrocopter is a late game powerhouse. And of course, you are a Divine Rapier carrier naturally, this Gyrocopter. But it's going to be a long time before we see that coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a ways off for Sammy to hit that point where he wants to invest in the Divine. He might want to consider it earlier. He's still saving up for a BKB, which will be helpful. Does TP up top with Gunner, but their triangle's invaded, so NoPing might look for angles here. They do not quite have Dark Mago around, so this could be a tricky fight to take if they force the issue.
Not if they find Sammy with the Yules. HFN, he's got Max Ensnare up. He will commit it. Sammy in a bit of danger. He doesn't have a BKB, but now the call down is going to be decent. It'll force the song usage. It's a really nice lineup, but Matthew could not get in range to get a nice impale off. And now they move in anyway. They want to go for the fight. Poison Nova around. They've got the Naga Siren. He's not really as tanky as you would hope, but he's surviving. He'll turn back onto Sammy. He'll get the Gyrocopter kill. Still Gunner trying his best. Almost gets the kill. HFN. He does finally die. Oscar will keep going with Dark Mago, trying to get more. They'll get Husky on the Ogre. A 3-for-3 trade. Dark Mago, really the only one left. He does have a TP, but it'll get cancelled immediately by Gunner, so he hasn't bothered committing it yet. He's going to pop his BKB and actually turn back around for a second, and now he'll TP out of there. So a pretty even team fight.
I must have them all.
Yeah, you're still happy if you're Zoomers, though. You kill down HFN once more. He's worth a lot more than losing Sammy, so just finding that kill sets you up quite nicely for Zoomers. There's still a 2k lead here for NoPing. And the big issue there was that Dark Mago was literally in that bot jungle on the opposite side of the map. If he was there earlier on with the arena, they might have had setup. The song just didn't lead to enough. And by the time Dark Mago came, HFN was already too low, so missing out on some timings there a bit. Not the ideal situation for NoPing, but they at least even it out. They can start to camp that Rosh. It will we'll find out the timer in about 10 seconds. That could be the next objective for both sides to play for. And you will have your song back up relatively soon on HFN anyway. However, there is a BKB up on Sammy now. So some of that instant control is not going to be on hand. He's going to be able to stand and fight a lot more with these in the middle of these fights. And they smoke up as well with this item timing on Zoomer's end.
See what they can get done. Rushing down towards the bot lane.
Such a vivid imagination you have.
Go in. Looks like Husky will get the team fight started, but he only got an illusion. Onto Oscar they go. Yule's going to save the day. Arena dropped by Dark Mago. They've got the task. He's almost down. Still Sammy right in the middle trying to fight back with the BKB. Oscar's dropping lower. Is he going to drop in time though? Poison Nova out. Everything being thrown, but it is not enough. NoPing just have the numbers. A 4-for-0. They do at least get Oscar, as his team kind of just forgot about him while he was getting hit by the Plague Wards. But it won't matter. A great team fight out for NoPing, and it's into the Roshan pit for him.
That's just very fortunate for NoPing. Really quick Roche respawn right on the timer. So they're going to be able to get a lot from that last fight. Aegis and Cheese available. HFN, even with a BKB up, if you don't manage to isolate that Naga Siren, if NoPing have all their heroes on hand, they just don't have enough to deal with Naga. The only reason they won the last fight was because Dark Mago was so far away. So they've got to be careful about forcing these bigger fights. There is a butterfly flying out for HFN relatively soon as well. And that's going to be a big spike for Naga. Not only do you have the heart with HP, you're going to have the evasion up on the Naga as well. And it makes it very hard to lock the Naga Siren in, especially once HFN hits 25. Could opt for the evasion talent and really force the heroes to start considering some MKBs. And Sammy has not queued one up. He's going for the Mjolnir upgrade first. Again, just trying to play with the proc damage to pierce through some of that armor. But HFN is really, really scary up front. Like, it's going to be hard to deal with Naga if you can't find her in the backlines first. And that's going to be how Zoomers has to play. They need to hunt the Naga behind. They need to punish HFN when he's alone. They have done that a couple of times, but in the past few fights, HFN has been able to get himself in a really good position to carry his team through these engagements.
Ocean. Snared up. Sammy gonna try and thread him, but there's a lot of heroes around. NoPing, they want to go for the fight. Spear is there. They now see Sammy, however. It's a much bigger target, but Gunner's gonna jump in. He'll try to help out. The BKB was popped. They'll get one. That'll be Matthew dead, but he's going to buy back on the next assassin. Sammy still dropping very low. Needs to back off and just try to kite them out. But Dark Mago, he had a cheese. He will take the gyrocopter down into more now with the exorcism. They might find Husky. They might even find Gunner. He's going to try and run away. Instead, they'll turn right back around onto Ocean. They at least want the Tusk down. And they're going to get him. Brax does kill off Dark Mago though, a big kill off on the Mars. A bit of a scrappy engagement. I believe in the end it was a 2-for-2 trade if you count the buyback from Matthew. As HFN now is getting jumped on by Gunner. Aether Remnant to connect, they get the Fire Blast as well, but do you have the follow-up damage? I don't think they do. In fact, Yule's up, Impale does not connect. Dissimulate, oh Gunner! Right back into the Spy Carapace. Is he going to be alright though? Astral Step is going to be just fine. HFN being protected with all these Lotus Orbs. He's going to move back in. Gunner trying to force him back, but they just don't have any damage. Still, with all these spells being thrown out, it is going to prove to be enough. And NoPing, they'll come back another time.
Yeah, the respawns are up for the side of Zoomer, so they've got the numbers advantage here, and they might be able to find a couple of pickoffs if they overstay on NoPing.
Yeah, Matthew. Get back onto the Tusk. HFN wants to go after Brax instead. Xmo on an illusion. Brax is going to be out of range. Gunner again jumping in. He wants the support set first. They'll go after D Flash. That'll be one gone. Song was committed. HFN just trying to disengage, and looks like they're almost all going to be fine. Matthew, he's going to have to die back.
Yeah, it's again a bit of a messy engagement for the side of NoPing. NoPing, they didn't have a TP on Matthew. You can make use of that Song, and they dropped their supports. So not the biggest loss, considering that you forced some BKB usages there. Brax is down to his 6-second charge. You're going to be vulnerable in the middle of these fights. And Sammy.
Oh, Sammy, I don't know about that. That's a lot of damage, and that's just from the illusion. Sammy really playing with fire. HFN still has the Aegis as well, so he's willing to fight if necessary. Looks like that's going to be enough for 4 Zoomers. They'll start split pushing the side lanes instead. I think the objective for 4 Zoomers is just simply hold out. I mean, Sammy, he hasn't filled the Mjolnir. He hasn't finished the Mjolnir yet. So you at least want to pick that up. And even after that, you're still looking for maybe some lifesteal, maybe just Divine Rapier Rush straight up. The Satanic, it may not do too much because we've seen HFN pick up an Eye of Skadi on this Naga Siren. It's pretty standard. So maybe just ignore the Satanic build up and, you know, go for that just raw damage output. Even a Butterfly seems kind of nice for the Gyro here.
Yeah, I'd say I think the way to go still has to be Satanic, though. If you are considering the Divine for late game, you need a Satanic to sustain it. So we'll see if that's the case. They do smoke up on the side of Zoomers. They feel like they can take a fight, and well, there are only 3 heroes bot. NoPing is kind of split up right now.
That they are. 4 Zoomers going to wrap up from behind. That Gunner is trying to bait them out. They might take this bait as well. That is some juicy bait. They are. Arena going to be drop spear, going to miss, however. Now they just rush in. They found Oscar first. They want that DP dead. ASAP, and Oscar, he's not going to survive very long. He's gone as Dark Mago now going to be chased down with a snowball, and Gunner just running him down. He'll BKB up. They'll kill off D-Flash instead. And now Dark Mago, he's going to just try and TP away, and does do so. But they'll lose Matthew on top. So a 3-for-0 trade for Zoomers once again. Getting another great team fight to go their way. The one saving grace right now for NoPing is the fact that HFN was not involved. And he is still freely farming up. Though I say that, Sammy is going to run into him. This is dangerous. That's a lot of damage. Sammy forced the BKB up and walk away. You're really starting to see why he feels like he needs the Mjolnir finished up. Even then, though, I just don't know if that's going to be enough damage. Like, those are some tanky illusions, John.
They really are. At the least, you'll be bouncing back some lightning back when HFN does focus you down. So there's some potential to burn through the illusions just a bit more. You are going to have to contend with HFN having BKB, though. So in the middle of it, the illusions might melt, but HFN will not with a BKB up. And that should help him stand and fight. Should help, again, build up that sustain. Mjolnir is finished up for Sammy, but that leaves him with no buyback. So if he's actually caught out at the next fight, he's not going to have the option to come in for the defense. And NoPing, they do smoke up here.
All right. Here we go, NoPing.
I deserve this.
Onto Ocean. They do find him as well. Yule's up. Dark Mago. You probably would have enjoyed a bigger target than rather the Tusk, but you take what you can get right now for NoPing. At least this may allow them to actually go after that tier 2 top tower. And Ocean is going to be down for 55 seconds, so it is a pretty big timer. In fact, HFN, he wants to go for more now. He wants to go straight high ground.
Yeah.
Snare, they've caught Sammy. Arena, BKB just in the nick of time, but Sammy, the damage output, it's so high, they'll get the kill.
but
That's him down without buyback for 80 seconds. So they're going to start chipping away onto Dark Mago. It's a fair bit of damage. He's going to try the BKB with the song out from HFN, and it's going to be enough. Still Gunner going to jump back in onto the Nagasara, but there's your Soulbind into the double silence. He'll BKB up and try to run away. He needs to slowly chip with all this magic damage. So I'd say HFN has to be the last target, because he can regen up a lot of that lost HP. Look on to Matthew instead. Now Ocean is back in. Shards not going to be on target. He decides not to block the staircase. And I guess either way, they probably would not have been able to commit to a team fight without Sammy up.
It's difficult right now. You need the damage coming through from Sammy. And in that last fight, they forced to have Sammy forward. And that was Husky trying to save his gyro, but Sammy turned around last second, so that led to that kill him out.
Yeah, Dark Mago not quite getting the spear. Brax had the BKB up in time. Shards not going to be on target either. They at least got the Nyx Assassin Matthew, but a double impel is there. Matthew really setting up. It's not going to be enough though. There's no follow-up to it. Instead, they'll go back onto Ocean, bring him down to the low ground, the Tusk. He's going to die again, but Gunner going to try and kill off Matthew. Not quite going to find it. In fact, Gunner, oh, he's going to die. No buyback on the Void Spirit. Hell, there's no buyback on anyone. Nobody saved the gold up for it. They didn't expect this high ground attempt to come out. Sammy is forced to fight back up against HFN with the call down. He'll try to go after Oscar instead. But everyone's just kiting and walking out and walking back in, just resetting constantly. They've got Song back up as well for HFN. He's got 55 seconds without the Void Spirit, so he might just decide to go back in once he has enough mana up for the Song. In fact, he does right now.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult now. You're in a very scary spot for the side of Zoomers. They're sitting with no buyback, as you mentioned. The high ground is just going to constantly melt to the illusions now. Sammy can try to push back, but look at how tanky those illusions are. Even with the Flak and Rocket Barrage, it takes some time to melt them down. And it's another quick Roche respawn. The Roche is back up. NoPing managed to dip in. They've got the Song to break off any jump forward. They've got a good ward to watch the movement out from the Zoomers. The Zoomers are going to have to expend the smoke if they want to make that play, but they draw the line towards the wrong side of the map. It's going to be a free Roche for the side of NoPing. There's an Aegis upgrade, Axe upgrade here as well. That is going to be very impactful for whoever they give it to. They do give it out to Dark Mago, so he's got the Bulwark with the soldiers up. We don't tend to see that in pro games, but hey, it's there now for Dark Mago.
Yeah, I think the idea for Zoomers is they know they can't fight without Gunner. So they're going to go ahead and farm up those tier 4 items while they can. Just before the side of NoPing force them back into the base. And of course, Sammy needs the gold right now. He's got no choice in the matter. He needs to find a place to farm. The problem is he's showing on the creep wave. He decided to get greedy for this, and he may pay for it. In fact, he might really just pay for it. So he has to pop the BKB and TP away. He does force all of NoPing down towards the bot side of the map as well. So it's back into... Did he go into the triangle? No, into the mid lane. But he should go back into the triangle, and does. Matthew is around to scout out.
It's a bit tricky for Zoomers. I'm looking at the itemization for Sammy. He's queuing up the Butterfly into Satanic, and he actually buys out the Eagle Song. So he's down without buyback again if he dies. He's not having that extra gold. They're just not saving that up anymore. And their high ground is under siege. Like, HFN is just kind of chipping through backdoor right now and not getting significant damage, but the creep wave is up. They've got Exorcism here as well from Oscar. They are ready to go. This could be a tough fight.
Could be. They do at least have the Aghanims upgrade now on Brax. That might help a little bit along with the Spell Prism. Jump in though, Dark Mago getting a nice Arena Spear off. They have caught the Gyrocopter, Sammy! Oh, he just gets bursted down and he has no buyback. He just bought the Eagle Song. Gunner, once again, on defense duty. And the Poison Nova's doing a lot of damage. Dark Mago might actually die to this. He's got the cheese and he's forced to use it to try and survive. How do you defend this without the Gyrocopter around? Dark Mago, a nice speed back on Brax, forcing the BKB out. They're going to slowly chase him down. Gunner jumping in, chipping away. He might finally get a pick off onto Matthew. Not quite yet, however. Matthew's barely survived. Shards out, not on target. The snowball, he's going to use away from it. Ocean, so desperate to get this kill. Spy Carapace out now. Oscar's trying to keep him alive. At least Dark Mago does die to Gunner, however. And they do finally get Matthew. Buyback's committed, though. The Nyx is back up. Now HFN dying to Brax. The Spirit Vessel making it very hard for the heart to do its work, along with the poison over and all the poison damage. HFN is still dying. Will finally be able to walk away. And you can kind of see, John, even with just the Venom, you have a lot of damage onto that Naga. But they can't really commit to the team fights without their gyrocopter.
They can't. It's just not enough. Even with the Veno, like, yeah, you get some good sustainable damage coming through, but you're not really getting anything on HFN. Like, he's holding on to his BKB charge. He still has a 9-second charge ready to go. And Matthew.
Nice setup. HFN will say thank you very much. Life just gets harder for 4 Zoomers. A 16k net worth lead. HFN right into that tier 3 mid tower. Look at those illusions. My goodness. Oh, HFN. He has the Aegis. So he's willing to throw it away because it's about to expire anyway. Gunner's in. Are they going to wait the Aegis out? Not quite. They're just going to take him down. Onto D-Flash. They'll get another. This is looking pretty darn good for the Zoomers. Now the Nagasara and HFN. There's your Spirit Vessel. He'll be forced to BKB TP away. He's going to make it. Instead, they will go onto the DP. And Sammy suddenly has a triple kill on the gyro. And you know what, John? NoPing, they've got to be very careful about those kinds of plays. Because they can throw the game quite easily by doing those things. Such as going high ground by yourself if you are HFN.
Yeah, I think he needed his team to protect him at the back. They need a Dark Mago around to get the arena off a bit earlier as well if they want to start the fight.
Oh, Dark Mago, he's rushing. This is impatience from NoPing. HFN still going to be able to get the kill. Gunner trying to move in now. Aether Remnant does connect. Where's the backup? Nobody's going in yet. Now the call down's there. Husky moving in. They want the Naga Siren, but she's going to song up. Buyback was forced out by D-Flash. And that's why I kind of said there was a bit of a rush going on here from Dark Mago. You don't really want to force these buybacks if you can avoid it. And for D-Flash, he felt the need to just because HFN was getting jumped. Even if he has the song, you just never know.
Yeah, it's I don't think that's too bad for NoPing overall though. Like they still have more buybacks than for Zoomers right now. The side of Zoomers are still lagging behind in that department. It's only support buyback in your pause 5 as well, so it's not the biggest commitment coming out from NoPing. And they still get to hold on. Like you kill off one, you kill off the Tusk, that's enough to stop them from trying to pierce the high ground, which is worthwhile. And you get to hold on. There are only 1 racks up here on the side of NoPing. They didn't manage to clear out the top racks. They only took the tier 3. They are grouped up for a smoke. They might look for something here. HFN is pretty far from them, so this could be a risky fight if the Naga doesn't show up soon.
Looks like HFN is going to kind of cut through the triangle and make his way over to his team in the mid lane. Speaking of HFN, John, 6.7k gold is in the bank account of this Naga. Is it time? Do you bother getting a Skadi, do you reckon? Do you have the item slot for it? Like, you can get rid of the treads. That's about it now. I guess he could go for a Moonshine if he wants.
Bounty.
He might even just hold on to the gold.
I'd say they need to take next Roche and give the Ags to HFN. He needs the Ags upgrade. He needs that Ensnare True Spell Immunity. He needs a lower cooldown on Ensnare. You have that control over Sammy when he pops BKB, he's dead. Even Gunner, he pops his BKB, he's still dead. So you just want that additional utility over these team fights. And I think that might be the idea. And they do take the high ground.
Oh, Arena Spear is out. They caught Gunner. That's a big, big target. Gunner, he's going to survive for now with the Soulbind. Is there in time? Still, he is getting away just barely. HFN on the chase, not able to reach thus far. Dark Mago, he's gone down. They've completely ignored the backlines. Sammy is trying to fight back, but Oscar is going to chase him down with an Exorcism. Now HFN, Song and TP away. A bit of tunnel vision there to try and chase down Gunner. Does cost them the life of Dark Mago. And might even cost them the life of Oscar. But it looks like 4 Zoomers aren't going to try and force that. Instead, there's more time now for Sammy to continue to catch up in farm. And he's getting very close to that Satanic. However, they found somebody. Oscar and HFN, Matthew even there, they're going to find out Ocean. They'll get the Tusk. This has bought the time for a Satanic up on Sammy, but John, would you believe it? There's no buyback gold.
Of course not. It's the all-in play. They're trying to get an edge over each other. You've got the Hex up on Oscar. So this is where the potency of the Grimstroke comes in. We saw Abyssal with Soulbind. Now you've got Hex with Soulbind. Just more control coming through. If you can catch these heroes out. These are low duration BKBs now. Down to 5 seconds for Sammy, and Gunner's up at 7. But it starts to take away. They are taking control of Roche. It's still a minute and a half away. So they're going to have to wait a bit longer. And there is a smoke from Zoomers here. Gunner.
Oh, Gunner. Jump in. Going after D-Flash. That'll be a dieback on the Grimstroke. It's a great start. An immediate 4v5. In fact, it's still a 3v4. Ocean's Courier, though, going to get sniped. That'll be the Void Stone getting picked off. So that'll be it from 4 Zoomers for now. Both teams just currently waiting out the next Roshan to spawn. This time, however, it is going to be a longer timer. So you've still got about a minute left for that Roshan. But it's going to be extremely important for either team. So I do believe that is the 4th Roshan of the game, so everything is on it. And that could be a massive turning point for 4 Zoomers if they could get all those items for themselves.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge turn for them if they manage to secure this next Roche. There is enough time to wait out the respawn of your D-Flash here on the Grimstroke, so there is enough breathing room here for NoPing to just stay back, wait for that respawn up, and force the fight there. They've got Song back up, they've got Arena, and if they find the right angle again, isolate Sammy, kill him off before anything else can happen, it can turn around. But we have been seeing some better force staff saves from Husky. He's been able to reposition that jar in a very good way. And you've got this Aeon Disc up on Gunner, so you can't just burst down the Void Spirit, which is an issue.
Mid lane. Brax getting caught out. Dark Mago with HFN and Oscar getting the kill. They're checking that Roshan pit, and it's going to be up. Brax can buy back, and he's probably going to have to immediately. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that.
No.
I mean, look,
He needs to be in there for that fight. Like, the Nova needs to come out. It's just doing a lot of work still. As the timing for the BKB use on HFN is a bit awkward. Right? Like, he tries to hold on really late. At the end, he only pops it to TP home. So he doesn't use it offensively. It's more of a defensive tool for him, which means you get a lot of value from your Venomancer in the middle of these fights. And it's a bit difficult for NoPing to take this fight. Like, they just dropped Arena. So it's 48 seconds, but there's enough time there for Zoomers to go back in with a buyback and could be very scary. Like, you have to deal with Satanic on Sammy. He's saving up for that Divine. So he has a lot of sustain up front. You don't have a full Spirit Vessel up. On Oscar, he only has that casual Urn. The Hex is up and running. You could look to make a Soulbind Hex play or a Soulbind Abyssal play again. But with the BKBs running earlier on, you have to wait those 5 seconds. There's enough that can happen here for Zoomers to really bring the fight back in. And they're going to have to choose their spacing here properly, NoPing. Be very careful about how far they commit.
See what happens, John. Roshan going to get started. 4 Zoomers surely are aware that this is happening. It's a very quick Roshan, though. And it looks like they are not going to even try to counter this Roshan play. Excuse me. So 4 items up. Matthew took the Aghanim Scepter upgrade. Oscar has the Refresher Shard, so now double Exorcism. Going to be very potent. But I'd say if anything, Matthew's Ags upgrade is going to be one of the most annoying ones. That Burrow, the range at which you can impel and just spam Mana Drain, and even the Spire Carapace, it's all very annoying. In fact, speaking of annoying, he might just annoy Gunnar here. Oh, Gunnar needs to TP out. Oh, he knows. He knows Matthew's probably stalking him. He'll go the right way. Still, the top racks gonna be under siege now. This time around, Sammy, he's got the buyback goal. He has farmed it up in that time. NoPing, they aren't going to risk too much. They've got plenty of time on the Aegis, so they can definitely just wait for the right fight. Hell, they can even just send the illusions in over and over again and chip away at the towers and objectives, if they really want to.
Yeah, they can just play it as slow as they want to here. You do see a refresh up on HFN, so he does have double song coming through, just in case he needs a second song throughout the longer cooldown it does have in this game. I would still prefer to see maybe down the line an Ags upgrade. I think there's some utility here for the Nagasaran to have that. Like, it's great on Matthew, but now there's some pressure on Matthew to get his positioning perfect. We tend to see him die first, so he needs to actually be patient this time. Maybe have D-Flash be the sacrificial pawn once he throws out his Soulbind, and Matthew needs to stay alive as long as possible to use his spells. He even has like 5 mangoes in his inventory, just to ensure that if he does live, he's going to have the mana to constantly spam spells out. So we'll see if he can get that impact he wants on Nyx. As NoPing, they have widened that lead up to 23k on their side, 36 to 41, 52 minutes in, just about. And there's still a lot of farm sitting on HFN. He's about 2.3k up surplus on his buyback. So he's got room for one more item. He could probably just take off the boots if he wants to and opt for something else. I don't think you really want to go bootsless here. You're very slow against Venomancer and Tusk. That Frozen Sigil has been a consistent issue for everyone on the side of NoPing, so I think you will want to keep your boots up. He is queuing up a Sacred Relic, so he might be going for Nullifier. Looks like he is going for the Nullifier, and it's up. So he's going to have even more control. He's going to have a good way of jumping into these fights and trying to burst someone down. We'll see if they manage to make use of these tools soon. For now, they are just kind of winning out this attrition war.
Well, Sammy's got enough gold now for the Rapier himself. There's your Wind Waker on Gunnar as well, so he has a tool to make sure he can help out if Sammy is about to die. Looks like this Wind Waker item is getting very popular throughout the late game. I'm not too shocked by it, quite frankly, John. Being able to spam Yules on one of your mates definitely seems very powerful.
Oh yeah. It's just got a lot of utility, and for something like the Void Spirit, you've got that slot used up by the Yules anyway. So you get more utility in the late game. It's a very great value prospect as an item slot pickup. Just very expensive, but when you're at 53 minutes in, expense isn't really an issue. So we'll see just how much Gunnar can make use of that. It should catch NoPing out by surprise if you're not careful. And that could be a pretty scary point for them. They only have about a minute, less than a minute, left on the Aegis. So if they want to make a play happen, it has to be soon. If they force it any later, you might find HFN dying without the Aegis.
A lot of patience. I don't know if it's really in the favor of NoPing to wait for those tier 5 items to be up either. If you wait that long, your Aegis is definitely gone. That's for sure. And while you can try to keep 4 Zoomers in the base, I think as soon as the timer hits that point, where you have tier 5 items coming up, they'll probably smoke out of the base and just go for it. There's your Rapier, by the way, coming out now onto Sammy. The Courier, where is it? There it is. The Rapier up. It's a lot of damage out on Sammy. It should be spotted quite easily as well. Love the fact that we have an Arcane Blink coming out on Dark Mago, so all his cooldowns are a lot lower now, assuming he blinks in. He's kind of running out of space for items, so he actually sells his Yule Scepter. Still a smoke out now, 4 Zoomers. See their target, Oscar. Fire Blast, can they get there in time? No, they can't. 4-star forward Snowball, they might just be able to, but the Impale! Matthew with the 3-man saving the day, and now they'll hold the high ground on the triangle. To cut them off, HFN trying his darndest to get in range for an ensnare, but he can't quite get there. Do you just wait out the next Roshan now, though, if you're NoPing?
Oh,
Matthew.
Gunner.
Hell lands. Aeon just gonna proc. He's gonna Wind Waker himself away.
They could wait for next rush. Like, it could be a bit longer. You're still building up on your Naga, you're still building up on your Mars. Everyone else can kind of scale up. I think at this point you might want some farm and D-Flash. Have him try to live through fights. He's saving up for his Aeon Disc. I think the Ags here would be really good on the Grimstroke as well, right? Like the Dark Portrait on Sammy could be big, although...
That's going to be alright. They get the Impale off onto the Ogre. Husky going to get trapped up, and oh, that's a big target. They found Brax, but the Wind Waker going to save the day, at least for now. It's Brax. Goes back in for a Poison Nova. Buy back out from Husky. They seem to want to take the team fight. Maybe they can. They've still got that Rapier up. Here comes Sammy. It's not really as high as a damage point as you would hope, though. Still, they'll go in again. Gunner. Dissimulate in right into the backlines. Trying to give vision for his team. Silencing up everybody. Dark Mago about to tie. Not quite dead yet. Homing Missile going to chase him down. Now the song is out. They need to get the hell out of there. They stun up the Mars. They're still trying. 4 Zoomers have decided to finally back off as they've got some space on the map to farm now.
Yeah,
and tier 5 items are up in 3 minutes.
It's going to be a very awkward timing for both sides. Like, it's on the edge. It could easily swing the way of Zoomers if NoPing's not careful. They don't have buyback in HFN right now. He is rushing in. I'm not sure what that is. It should be his Ags? Yeah, he's rushing the Ags with the Blessing immediately. So he's going to have the way to deal with those Pico EBs if you're not careful. He's not buying out yet as he needs buyback gold. So holding out for a bit longer. They are smoked up here, though, on the side of NoPing.
Oh,
Sammy?
That would be a massive target. They don't actually go for it immediately. Sammy, oh, he's going to stun himself. The Spine Carapace, the Abyssal Blade. Can they save him? It doesn't look good.
Sammy!
The Divine is on the deck. He's gone. He'll buy back. They need to fight this one out now. They'll kill off Matthew, but they've lost Ocean. Still, they continue on to HFN. They've got the Naga. He is very, very low, and he's going to die. They'll get the Divine back. Onto the Mars. Dark Mago not going to be safe either. They will clean up.
Oh, it's a quick Roche respawn as well. It's already back up.
Oh, it's
stalled long
basically
enough.
instant. This is perfect.
Oh, this is terrifying. Like, they scan out, so they know it's up. There are buybacks. I think NoPing will have to commit if you want to fight in, but this is big. Another full set on the Roche. Ags upgrade, refresh, Aegis and Cheese. You're going to have to contend with 2 lives now, and there's going to be a failsafe here for Sammy. He just bought back, and now he's going to have value through that life anyway.
Absolutely. Takes the Aegis. Brax. Looks like he'll take the... He's got the Cheese Refresher. Who took the Axe? Husky. Alright. So you've got the unrefined Fire Blast, I believe it's called. And it is.
Yep. It's gonna be a lot. Like, your Ogre is just constantly spamming out, regardless of his mana status. So you've always got a free spell on hand. And NoPing, they're trying to be greedy by saving on these buybacks. These towers will not stand. Like, the Divine is there. It's not gonna be an easy hold. Matthew's just gonna have to spam his spells out like a god, and there he is.
Yeah, I mean, you can spam out the Impel and the Mana Drain and just be a nuisance. Sammy's not going to care too much. I think he's going to be feeling very confident having that Aegis up now. They are going to at least get 1 Rax for their time. Oh, he misclicked it. He changed where his BKB was, so the hotkey changed. And I think he just purely misclicked. I think he actually wanted to go for the Mjolnir active or even the Satanic, but nevertheless, it doesn't really matter. He'll have it up in time for the next fight. Plus, John, 20 seconds, tier 5 items. What do you reckon? What do we find?
I don't know what would help out for either side at this point. Like, they're so farmed up.
Just
all
give
I know is if you get a Pirate's Hat, you're going to be upset.
Give somebody a Giant's Ring. I want to see a big Mars.
Yeah. Oh, that would be beautiful. Like a Giant's Ring for Dark Mago at this point.
Yeah.
A lot more presence if he does find it. And there it is. Farm! Farm, boys, farm! Get the whip out! Someone whip them. Farm those Ancients.
There's
Farm
that
those
Pirate Hat.
Oh, Sammy's not going to be happy.
No, he is. It's a plus 150 attack speed as well, John. So it's really not that bad.
But he hits his cap already. Like, you have the Mjolnir. You're not breaking that attack speed cap. I guess it's nice with the Divine. I suppose.
If you use
maybe.
Sammy, you haven't used it yet, sir.
Get the bounty, Sammy. What are you doing, Sammy?
It's like
Get
a
the
Midas,
gold,
John.
Sammy.
Oh, it's a Midas.
Sammy!
The Sammy.
Oh, I can't even ping it.
The Sammy know it's an active. Somebody tell Sammy about the bounty.
Oh, goodness. What are they finding here in NoPing? They've got a lot more. They've got Apex. They've got Ballista, which Sammy would have loved, I'm sure, if he got Ballista.
Oh, for sure.
And they have a Mirror Shield. So not the most amazing. I guess you'd give the Apex out to HFN at this point. No Giant's Ring, disappointingly enough. There's a Book of the Dead here for Zoomers. So they have a lot of push if they want it, and it is going towards our Tusk. They've got their own Mirror Shield now as well.
I do like that Mirror Shield. I think it's quite a lot of value, just depending on who wants to take it. Book of the Dead is actually pretty darn nice as well if you use it correctly, right? Because you can just split push lanes with it. It's very annoying because you have to address the Necro creeps. They do last for a long time and they are very tanky. So somebody has to commit to taking them out if they are split pushing a lane, as Matthew is right now. Good news, by the way, he did end up using the Pirate Hat. It's very good.
Yeah, and this is really bad for NoPing. They have basically one neutral that they can't use. They can't use the Ballista. Like, maybe you give it to Oscar, but it doesn't matter when he has the Mirror Shield. So
my point.
You have no one that can use that. It's just that RNG factor. So now you've got potentially one more item up for Zoomers. They're still waiting for their last neutral drop.
Can't they just remove Ballista? Like, you've got into 60 minutes into the game. It's got to be the most underwhelming item. Book of the Shadows.
Really?
That's actually pretty lit, though, isn't it? Because you can save your teammate.
It is. It's really good. Like, especially when you compare NoPing's tier 5. So, RNG not working in NoPing's favor. They're going to have to be very careful not having that major spike for one of your heroes up. And this makes it very, very difficult. Like, HFN doesn't have a good neutral to use.
Jeez, that is
it all away.
That's a far... Gee, that Rax is gone, John.
Oh, God.
Sammy, he's enjoying the Pirate Hat all right. They get the Hex up, though. He's got the Aegis. Arena down. They get the stun in time as well. He is very low, and they will actually use the Ethereal Blade to make sure he doesn't die, but he's going to go down anyway. That'll be the Aegis. Now Oscar, he wants to go for the fight.
Stun?
They do stun him up, a great impale out. Sammy's in danger. He still holds on to the BKB. They get the Rax. They may just want to back out or maybe jump back in. Gunner right in there. He's got HFN with the Aether Remnant. He's been stunned up. He's been locked down. He's going to die. He'll buy back immediately. But they're onto Oscar. They've got another one in their control. And they'll get the DP to boot. Another buyback. Now the Soulbind down. Dark Mega with the stun. Onto Gunner. They're going back onto Sammy. He's going to be saved, however. The Gyrocopter's still fine. Going to have to fight back Sammy with the life still fighting back. It's a lot of damage out. They've almost got the dieback on HFN, but the Sun comes in time. He's going to survive. No, he's not. The poison from Brax.
But Sammy's
Divine. The Sammy's dead. Divine on the deck. Gunner did not manage to pick it up.
Brax!
Brax has got it. Brax has got the sword, but he's got no hands to carry it. It won't matter though. They'll go back into Oscar. The DP gonna die. Dark Mago kills off Gunner. They'll buy back out. They really want this Mars kill, but Gunner can't make it in time. Nevertheless, Brax, he's the carry now, John. He's onto the tier 4 towers. He might actually be able to do it too. There's only one hero up. NoPing, they're not calling the GG, they're gonna try. But it's a 3v1 scenario. Back in, Poison Over out, Dark Mago, he'll put the shield up, Spear not gonna connect either, he's gone.
Oh,
That's it,
no.
GG. Has to be called, there is nobody to defend. And 4 Zoomers will have a chance at revenge now in the grand final up against the side of Undying.
Oh, NoPing. It looked good. They did trade a lot in that last fight, but they killed Sammy. They couldn't get the Divine. Like, they hesitated. Dark Mago didn't swap his bottle out. He couldn't pick it up. And that just led Brax to have that bonus damage because the Divine already traded hands. It was an open Divine. And they just ended. It was unfortunate for the side of NoPing. Zoomers, though, do manage to make it work. They played their hearts out. A lot of good back and forth. We were seeing HFN try to build up on the Naga, but he had a lot of vulnerabilities earlier on. And Zoomers, they find those openings, they make use of them. The Wind Waker, again, just being so obnoxious coming out from Gunner. And they won out the tier 5 drop RNG as well. Like, unfortunate for NoPing, but they just had, what, basically 2 items that were usable, 3 items that were usable. They had nothing good for HFN, and that just kind of costed them.
Well, with that, John, of course, we are going to move into the grand finals now with Undying up against 4 Zoomers, and that should be a very exciting matchup. We'll see if 4 Zoomers can put up a bit more of a fight up against Undying here, as they have made it all the way to the grand finals, and at the very least, do secure their second place spot. Of course, props to NoPing as well, John. NoPing doing a great job making it all the way to 3rd place. You've still got to be proud of that. And, well, we'll see how this all finishes off. Of course, there is going to be a bit more of an extended break. I believe it is going to be roughly 20 minutes. And it could possibly be extended to 30 minutes. But for now, it is sitting at 20 minutes of a break time. I'll update the timer if it does change. But till then, it's MLP Dota and it's JohnXFire, and we'll see you all again very soon for our grand final.